In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I just couldn't leave Florida when I had the chance. What is going on? It's Andrew with the Emerald Group right here in sunny, beautiful, beautiful Florida. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about why I had an opportunity to leave Florida, a great one, and I decided not to take it. So that's what we're going to talk about. If you guys are brand new to this channel, go ahead and hit subscribe, tap that little bell so that you'll be notified every single time we do a new video. And of course, we are a real estate company first. So if you are thinking about moving to the area, give us a call, text, email, carrier, pigeon, smoke signal, whatever you want to reach out to us. We absolutely love talking to you guys. And of course, we love helping too. So for those of you that don't know my story, I was actually moved here originally from the military. So the United States Air Force moved me out here. I actually wasn't even supposed to be here, funny enough. During training, the job that I was doing or about to do being trained for, it was about 1.5 to 2 years of training for it. And about halfway through that process, we go through the basic course of the job that I was doing, Loadmaster course. And I actually was supposed to move to Texas, Dallas, Texas to be exact, which I was actually happy about. It was a couple hours away from my folks, my family, basically, my immediate family, not the rest of my extended. They're out in California and things like that. But I was pretty excited. And then a slot opened up for the, Air Force Special Operations Command. They selected me for it, moved me out here to Hurlburt Field, which is basically right in the middle of Fort Walton Beach, Florida. So I was pretty happy about that. It's the beach. Can't really complain. I'm a little pale complected, so I was a little bit worried about that. But as soon as I got here, got into my job, kind of did my military career. And then at the end of it, whenever it was, I was trying to decide what I was going to do with the rest of my adult life, I basically had a choice. The military could move me basically anywhere I wanted. I mean, within reason, basically back home or the equivalent of. And so I was looking at all these different options, and I was thinking about moving to a big city because I always thought that'd be really cool, right? Like Atlanta or New York or, any bigger place where you have options and you could just walk places and you didn't really need a car for most of your day if you lived close enough to your job. And I thought that was going to be pretty cool, but ultimately, going home wasn't going to be the right thing for me. And when I really weighed out the pros and cons, as you guys have seen on this channel before, we do a lot of pros and cons videos rather, I just couldn't leave. There was nothing that can convince me to leave. I tried to talk to friends, I talked to family, thinking about what am I going to do, and it's you know what, I'm just going to stay here. And today I'm going to go over the top 5 reasons why I chose to stay. Now, these are in no particular order. These are the things that I think about that I absolutely love here about Florida, and I think you guys would love too, if of course you lived here. Now, the number one reason, the biggest reason by far, like tremendous, like the leaps and bounds, it's not even close with the other ones, is the people. Well, okay, it might be close. It might be close on some of them, but it's the people. That's the biggest reason I wanted to stay here. Now, I have traveled all over the world. I was a military brat growing up. I moved about every 2 to 3 years. I've lived in Japan, Guam, California, about 3 or 4 different spots in California, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma. I mean, I've run the gambit, okay? This is where I chose for a reason, and one of those big reasons is the people. Now, it's southern style. They're very friendly. Everybody is not everybody is very nice. For the most part, just about everywhere you go, it's customer service centric. They're about you. They're about, serving you, having a good time, and just overall being nice, right? You see somebody broken down on the side of the road, somebody jumps out to help them. In fact, just last week, I did that in the middle of a parking lot. This lady's car broke down. She jumped out to start pushing. I pulled off, just went for it. 2 other people immediately ran over and helped. We were in a parking lot. This lady didn't have to push his car but 20 feet, maybe, not even that much. And so many people rushed to help, and it was not busy. It wasn't like there was 100 people around and 3 people chose. There was like 8 people around and 3 of them chose to help. Like that kind of thing, the entire atmosphere of just people helping people, looking out for each other, making sure that we all are enjoying the life that we chose out here. I mean, that's really it. And that's so huge to me. I absolutely love the people here. Now, the second reason I chose to stay here instead of move back home, move somewhere else, is actually a con to a lot of people, but I love it. And that's the fact that there's really 2 seasons here, right? We have summer all the time, and then we have it gets cold for 3 weeks in January. And that's about it. As I'm recording this right now, it's like December 14th, I think, something like that. Should be getting to you guys around December 15th, 16th, something like that. And it is 74, 75 degrees or something outside. In fact, I've got the air conditioner on right here in the office. I'm not kidding. And I like that. I love shorts and shirts and sandals, or I don't wear sandals, but flip-flops. Absolutely love my flippy floppies. In fact, today I am in jeans and I have flip-flops on. I mean, because it was kind of colder this morning. It was like 68, a little chilly for us Floridians, but I really do like that there really is only one season. I like wearing, like I said, the shorts, the flip-flops, and a lot of people, it's a big con because it is hot and it is humid, particularly during the heavier months, the June, July, August. Some people really, really don't like it, and I do. You've got an option. You can go out and do all this fun stuff, or you can even stay hidden inside of your air conditioner if you're a little bit introverted, which I was for a very long time. I still kind of am. I still lean a little bit on that side. But my point with that is, weather doesn't change. I don't have to worry about going out and buying a bunch of jackets, buying different stuff every single year. I've got the clothes that I've got, and it's great, right? And part of that whole, weather not changing thing that I really like is, it's actually more on the side of, I despise the cold. I don't like the cold. Not happy about the cold. I don't like the cold. I don't want the snow. I'm going to have to put on 18 layers. I'm going to go outside and instantly get that sting of pain. I don't like it. It's just not for me. I just happen to be a warm weathered person. I guess that's the right way to say it, versus a cold, preferred person. And so for me, the warmth is key. Now, the third big reason why I decided to stay here is because of the unlimited outdoor activities that we have here. Now, of course, there's a limit to it. I'm sure you could put a number on how many outdoor activities there are, but it feels unlimited. I've not even done all of them. I've lived here since 2005, call it 16 years now, and it seems like every year I'm picking up something new that I'm like, I didn't realize I could do this. It was really cool. When I was active duty, I used to do a lot of mountain biking or hill biking, because let's be honest, we don't have a lot of mountains here, but it is still pretty aggressive. It's still really fun. There's hiking trails, there's all these other things. Then I got out and my entire world was opened up as I started meeting more Floridians instead of like the military folks that were transplants there, right? And then you start going out on the boats, and then you start to paddleboarding, and then you're, snorkeling and scuba diving, and it just doesn't stop. There's always something. There's a helicopter that just flies around here that you could just take just to see all the beautiful sights. Like, it's absolutely crazy. And I know it's not really an outdoor activity being in a helicopter, but you get my point. It's just nonstop. And because we're next to a tourist town, Destin and Miramar, 30A, all of that's kind of a touristy area. Now we've got all the extra tourist stuff to do too, which is just absolutely incredible. It's a plethora of things to do. You never seem to run out. If you want to go out on an adventure, you can book an adventure. And I could literally go on my computer today and book an adventure for 2 or 3 days from now, and it'll be great. It'll be a good time. It'll be memorable. Never forget it. Oh, and to add on top of the outdoor activities, one of my new favorite ones, I'm really just throwing this out here so I can use some of this footage, is going out jeeping. And it seems like the outdoor activities never really stop, so much so that even this last weekend I went out, took the Jeep out with a bunch of the other Jeepers out here, Jeep owners, and we just kind of crawled around in the mud, just got all dirty, had a good time, nice little 4 or 5 hour ride, got stuck a few times. It is an absolute blast. And like I said, there's always something next. And even though living here, the 15, 16 years that I have, there's always something new. And every time I'm like, this is going to be amazing, right? And of course, who can forget about the most popular outdoor activity we have here in the area, because it's free, it's everywhere, and it's beautiful, and that is our amazing beaches. Now, I'll tell you this, I have been all over the world. I kind of mentioned that a little bit with the moving, but I've also traveled quite a bit. I've been to a lot of different countries. The military afforded me that opportunity. Then, of course, on vacations, different places in Mexico, different places in the Caribbean, just all over. I have seen more beaches than I care to count. These are by far my favorite beaches. And not because I live here. I just genuinely like this beach better. I barely go. I should go all the time. Now, I do make little pit stops to go check it out from here and there, but I don't always just hang out there all day. But I just love it. It's mainly our sand. That's the number one thing that I like about it. Our water is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but there's gorgeous waters in the Caribbean. There's gorgeous waters in Mexico. But the sand is so unique. In certain beaches, you've got this rocky, just coarse sand. And other ones, you actually have just a bunch of little rocks. That's not even really sand. It's not that coarse. There's other ones where it's just just shells, just jagged. You're just walking on jagged shells. I've been to beaches and it's just a bunch of broken glass, but here it is fine, beautiful white powder sand. It's amazing. It just almost just sinks in between your toes. I really like it. And then that paired with the beautiful waters, beautiful scenery, the lower amount of size of wave. I notice some people that's going to be a detriment because maybe they want to go surfing or things like that. But I actually prefer that the waves are not crazy. So when you go out to the water, you're not just getting just mauled by these waves. I remember going out to the beaches in Huntington Beach where some of my family is, and you're just getting pelted sometimes. And it's just, you know, for 5 minutes, it's all right. But for sitting in the water for 20, 30 minutes, it's not as much fun. But here, it's not beating you up. It's not doing as much. Now, of course, we have riptides and all that, but it's a whole nother video, whole nother story. Absolutely love our beaches. And the really cool thing is because they're so close, I mean, it's probably like a 4-minute drive from where I'm sitting right now. I could be at the beach. And that's really cool because you want to take a little lunch break, maybe take your, pub sub with you. The pub sub's a thing down here. In case you guys move to Florida, you'll learn about pub subs. I'm not going to talk about it, but take your pub sub out to the beach, put your hat on, put a little sunscreen on, and just enjoy your lunch right there at the water if you want to. And if you want, you don't even really need to get in the sand and get dirty or anything. You can stand on the pier and kind of enjoy the water. And of course, there are tons of restaurants right on the water. Picture this, random Tuesday, you get done with work, sun is setting, you want to go out and have a pina colada because work was just awesome, you had a great day. Maybe you didn't have a great day and you want to have a pina colada, I don't know. But you had a little pina colada right there on the water watching the sunset. You can do that. There's probably 600 restaurants across, maybe that's exaggerated, it's probably not 600, but there's probably at least like 200 where you can have that exact experience on a Tuesday afternoon just because. Where else can you do that? I've never lived anywhere where at the end of the day, if I wanted to just have a mini vacation for 3 hours and completely forget about everything and just zone into the beautiful world around me, I've never been able to do that anywhere else. And so that's why I like this area so much. All right, we beat up the beaches enough. I'm not gonna keep going down that road. If you guys have seen our beaches, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's go into the fourth reason why I decided to stay here, and that is for money reasons, okay? For several different little categories. First off, no state income tax here in Florida, none. The tourists pay all of it for us through hotel fees, Airbnb fees, all this other stuff. They take care of all of that for us, which is great. So don't get mad at the tourists when you come down here. They're great. We love them. That's part of the reason why we're able to do this and get away with no state income tax. And of course, it's great to meet new people, but that's not part of the subject that I want to cover here. But that's one big one. No state income tax is big. Then we have homestead exemption out here. Florida was actually the first state in the country to do homestead exemption. It started out as a women's rights things, and it's completely evolved into this whole other thing, but lowers your taxes on your properties. And then, of course, you've got a bunch of exemptions you can do above and beyond that. This is when you're a resident. And on the same lines of the great money opportunities is because we're a very transient town, we've got a lot of military bases of people that move a little more often than, a standard civilian would. That creates, kind of a transient community. People come in and out. So first off, for me in my profession that I was choosing to get out of the military in, it was extremely beneficial, right? Having more people move in and out means more sales, and that's good for business, right? So with all of those being kind of in play, that was a really big decision maker for me. I kind of looked at prices of rentals, of what it was going to look like in some of the other cities that I was kind of experimenting with or maybe kind of thinking about, and I just wasn't seeing the same upside potential. But of course, I lived here, so I kind of had an insider scoop here. So my opinion on that particular matter might be a little bit off. It might not have been 100% factual, just what I was able to dig up. And the number 5 reason why I decided to stay here versus moving is pretty low on the list, but it's very unique to our area, and that's the seafood out here. I was not a seafood fan when I moved here. You can ask my folks growing up. Tuna sandwiches were about the most that I did. I was not a big fan of really anything else. And I even wasn't here for a very long time. Now, I'd say probably about a decade ago, I started trying it a little bit and then start trying different fish and and they're pulling it right out of the Gulf of Mexico. You're watching it in some of these restaurants. I'm not kidding. You can literally watch the vessel come in, drop the fish in, and they're just yanking everything off, throwing it on the grill. It is as fresh as you could possibly get, short of catching it yourself and cooking it on the very boat that you're at. And there is something to be said about fresh seafood. Now, I have tried all sorts of different fish in different areas of the country, different countries even. There is something to be said about having that fish come right off the boat to your plate. And it's outstanding, a lot of it. And most of it's very healthy for you, unless you're deep frying everything. That's a little bit different of a story. But the seafood's absolutely amazing. And the food in general, the overall cultural diversity we have out here, both, with the people, but also with the food is very, very large. So just about anything you can think of. I know a lot of big cities have that same thing. Especially if you're in a big city, you can get just about anything you want. You want to, whatever, something crazy, you've got it. But here, you're not having to deal with all the craziness of a big city, and you're still having the opportunity to have this wide array of different foods and different experiences, which is really, really cool to me and very important to me, because I don't want to get bored with the place that I live at. That's just it right there. If I would have moved back home, I think I would have been bored. A lot of it. It's a little podunk town my folks live in, and would not have been for me, right? So things like this, these experiences, these things we get to see and do all the time is just incredible, right? Those are the 5 reasons why I could not leave Florida, even when given a great opportunity to do so. I was able to start my, kind of restart my life, and I decided, out of all the places I've lived, out of all of the places, like I'm talking, I should have counted it before I sat down here, but it's probably close to 20 different places, with the military moving me and stuff like that. For a lot of them were short periods of time. And this is where I chose to hang my hat. I could have chosen another familiar place, could have chosen another big city, but good old Fort Walton Beach, Florida is what I chose. If you guys have any questions at all, I absolutely love talking to you guys. If you guys put a comment down below, you're getting me directly. If you talk to one of the other girls that do our videos with us and you're wanting to get one of them engaged, I will let them know, and they'll kind of go back and forth with you as well. But we do like talking to you guys, so we would appreciate any comment down below. If you've been here, what you liked about it, what you didn't like. If you have any questions, maybe you guys are thinking about moving down here, visiting, I don't know, we're here for you. So let us know if we can help. That's all we got for you. See ya.